Hello everyone, this is Sri Lakshmi S and welcome to class 55 of Kerala PSC HSA English. Today's class is based on the last topic of literary criticism module, which is Elaine Showalter's Towards a Feminist Poetics. Elaine Showalter is an influential American critic famous for her conceptualization of gynocriticism, which is a woman centric approach to literary analysis. She is famous for her work, A Literature of Their Own, in which she discusses the female literary tradition and analyzes its evolution through three phases, that is the feminine phase, feminist phase, and female phase. The concept gynocriticism was introduced by Elaine Showalter in Towards a Feminist Poetics. Gynocriticism refers to a kind of criticism with woman as writer or producer of textual meaning as against woman as reader. It is called feminist critique. Being concerned with the specificity of women's writing, that is a gyno text, and women's experiences, it focuses on female subjectivity, female language, and female literary career, and attempts to construct a female framework for the analysis of literature. Now, coming to our topic, that is Towards a Feminist Poetics. Feminist criticism can be divided into two distinct varieties. The first type is concerned with woman as reader, with woman as the consumer of male produced literature. This kind of analysis is called the feminist critique and it gives significance to sexual courts. It is a historical grounded inquiry, like other kinds of critique, which looks into the ideological assumptions of literary phenomena. Its subjects include the images and stereotypes of women in literature, the omissions and misconceptions about women in criticism, and the fissures in male constructed literary history. It is also concerned with the exploitation and manipulation of the female audience, especially in popular culture and film, and with the analysis of woman as sign in semiotic systems. The second type of feminist criticism is concerned with woman as a writer, with woman as a producer of textual meaning, with the history, themes, genres, and structures of literature by women. Its subjects include the psychodynamics of female creativity, linguistics, and the problem of a female language, the trajectory of the individual or collective female literary career, literary history, and of course, studies of particular writers and works. So, there is no term in English to describe this kind of a specialized discourse. So, Elaine Showalter names it as a gynocritique, the gynocritics. The feminist critique is essentially political and argumentative, with theoretical affiliations to Marxist sociology and aesthetics. While gynocritics is more self contained and experimental, it is something new, which have connections to other modes of new feminist research. One of the problems of the feminist critique is that it is male oriented. It does not deal with what women have felt and experienced, but only what men have thought women should be. The critique also has a tendency to naturalize women's victimization by making it the inevitable and obsessive topic of discussion. That means women are destined to be victimized. So, in contrast to this, the program of gynocritics arises. It is to construct a female framework for the analysis of women's literature, to develop new models based on the study of female experience rather than to adapt male models and theories. Gynocritics begins at the point when we free ourselves from the linear absolutes of male literary history, stop trying to fit women between the lines of the female tradition, and focus instead on the nearly visible world of female culture. So, gynocriticism tries to reconstruct the past, to rediscover the scores of women novelists, poets, and dramatists whose work has been obscured by time, and to establish the continuity of the female tradition. Then Elaine Showalter tells about her book on English women writers, a literature of their own, in which she tells about the feminine, feminist, and female stages. During the feminine phase, that is about 1840 to 1880, women wrote with full effort to get equalized with the intellectual achievements of the male culture. They used male pseudonym, and therefore they remained oblique, displaced, ironic, and subversive. In the feminist phase, which was from about 1880 to 1920, women are historically enabled to reject the accommodating postures of femininity and use literature to dramatize the ordeals of wronged womanhood. It is also the winning of the vote phase. In the female phase, which is ongoing since 1920, women reject both imitation and protest, these two forms of dependency, and instead they use female experience itself as a source of an autonomous art, extending the feminist analysis of culture to the forms and techniques of literature. Writers like Dorothy Richardson, Virginia Woolf, etc., they began to think in terms of male and female sentences and divided their work into masculine journalism and feminine fictions, redefining and sexualizing external and internal experiences. The most natural direction for feminist criticism has been the revision and even the subversion of related ideologies, especially Marxist aesthetics and structuralism, altering their vocabularies and methods to include the variable of gender. It seeks the repressed messages of women in history, in anthropology, in psychology, and in ourselves. So, the task of the feminist critiques is to find a new language, a new way of reading that can integrate our intelligence and our experience, our reason and our suffering, our skepticism and our vision. And the essay ends with this sentence: one thing is certain. Feminist criticism is not visiting, it is here to stay, and we must make it a permanent home. So that's all about the essay towards a feminist poetics. Thus, we successfully completed the module literary criticism. And there is one more thing mentioned in the module, that is about the terms and movements in literary criticism, that we will discuss in the next class. I'll go a rapid session through that, all movements and isms. So, as I have already said, we have stepping into the module 6, modern English usage, and there will be questions related to each topic in the module, and you have to give the answer on the comment box. So we are starting with module 6, modern English usage, sentence correction. First question, to die with honor is better than live with dishonor. Second question, my sister has read pages after pages of the Bible. Third question, no sooner had the hockey match started than it began to rain. Fourth question, it is high time he stood on his own two legs. Fifth question, he denied to have been there. That's all. Give your answers on the comment box. So that's all for today. I'll come in next class with a new topic and new set of questions. Stay tuned with the channel. Bye.